follow is a presentation of MRE Uno, Division 1. What started as a season opening day has now transitioned into night. The castle underneath the fairy tale went from the sun to the moonlight and some snowflakes fall. And for two competitors, they have their trusty steeds as they get up on their horses. But who will be the knight in shining armor? I hope you like that intro. Let's start it off with a perfect name, the old Canadian Crusade in Laraujo. There's a reason why he's got that car with the gun pointed right at you. He's going to hold you to every accountable measure. Great season, Super League last year, and a lot of credentials to his name. Enter James Ellison, the trained man. Maybe he didn't have what it takes in the old promoter cup. But that was just practice. Now we're talking about the real show. And when it's the real dealio, it's time to find out if he can play a little steelio in Lara's Thunder. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Lara versus James Ellison. It has been a fantastic 5-pack, and we're going to end it tonight with the fantastic 5-pack, the final game of this opening day / night. We'll have a post game. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, what has gone on today? Well, simply in this region, Yoshi Pikachu was the anticipated Nintendo battle. It was Yoshi taking care of Pikachu. Rookies now 0-2 will be a story for tomorrow and tonight's post-game coverage. Lara Ellison coming up next, of course, and then we got Nick and J Money tomorrow. Still no word on Clay and hockey at this rate. We will probably give you a better understanding when we get off air on Sunday night for the last stream of that day. Well, let's go to that match preview. As I said, if you see on screen, Lara with one of the best cards in this entire deck, the old pointing gun right at you, Kirby pointing gun, and then we got James Ellison, of course, with a split card with M. Veteran versus novice. Of course, Ellison not the best record last year, 2-5. Lara coming off on a Super League berth. We'll see what he can do, and we'll see what Ellison can do as they look to put on a show tonight. Both players are familiar with this game. They both know what they got to do. Should be a fun one as they continue a long packed day of MRE Uno as we wind down to our final day, or final night, of course, day one of coverage. Well, let's get to the scene. Looking forward to doing this one. Joining me in the booth is a special commentator who's never commentated before. That's my main friend, ALP Austin LaPlante, Mr. Sharpie. Appreciate him joining. And of course, we got our ref Cody Smart and telling us on scoreboard. Of course, I always like to do a fan initiative. If you're in the audience, I'll let you do the scoreboard. That's how we roll with a KT stream. ALP, it's a pleasure, man. You know, it's very interesting because I've commentated with a lot of people, but you were one of the OGs. I remember back when you first debuted in the league, 2024. You took care of business in this first tournament against the one seed. You know a thing or two about upsets against Peter. James is trying to pull off the miraculous upset tonight, where Lara's got all the thunder coming his way with the 24-hour club announcement soon to be there. Thoughts on what Ellison's got to do to rattle Lara's cage, and your thoughts on just being here, my friend. Go ahead. Floor's yours.
Well, it's a pleasure. Again, this should be again basically another interesting game of a game it's been played for over 55 years, basically like 2 or 3 generations, and basically it's something I probably should have done when I was playing. Use your cards wisely. If you need to use a power play, use it wisely as well. And if you can do that, and if you can somehow do the upset like I did, you should be able to cruise your way up the ladder here.
Appreciate those wise words, ALP, of course, from an old league veteran. We'll go to our two compatriots ready to duel in the old pod, and we'll start it off with the home team. Lara, it's good to be back, buddy. You know, what did you do in the offseason a little bit, and your thoughts on playing James Ellison? This is the first time in league history that you're playing somebody that played in the preseason. We did have that preseason tournament, so James is coming in with a little bit of a warmer engine than you. But what's your thoughts on playing Ellison and that very likely achievement, unless we get a 5-man series here of 24 hours around the sun in Uno? Thoughts on that as well? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's a little earlier than usual because we're in February instead of March, but that's how it goes. Yeah, I don't really know how Ellison plays, but you know me, I'm gonna just see how it goes and do my best as I go on. Over the break, it's pretty chill. I started up another semester of college, and right now it's like week 4, so in the midst of things, yeah.
Moving and grooving. Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, if you want to say anything else, buddy? Your thoughts on just the game?
Oh no, I was just gonna wrap up.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, yeah, bring it on, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get that ceremony as well coming up. James, you know, we've had all these questions of what happened last year. You had some big upsets. You now maybe not had the best company. That's all the preseason. That's all talk. What do you got to do tonight to pull off this upset against one of the more formidable opponents you played in Larry? You have done some big game hunting. Let's not forget and flashback to Logan and specifically Andy last year and won.
Well, I just got to make sure that I'm not too rusty from just the off season. I mean, granted, I had a couple of games, a couple of matches to knock that rust off if there was any there, but yeah, those weren't the greatest. But no, played smart. Like he with me. I don't know much about how he plays, so I guess this first game or two will be about feeling each other out and how we know how each other plays. It's be a matter of figuring each other out, and once we do that, trying to figure out how we can counter it.
Well, that's the beauty, ALP, and I'll go to you, my friend. We always talk about that game one feeler. When you played in the league, how important is a game one feeler in a best of 7? Considering this can go as quick series for sure.
It can go up and down. It's either going to be like quick and painless, or it's going to be long and painful, depending on the luck of the cards. And if we have a lot of draw cities, I'm going to predict that's going to be a whole lot of that tonight, and hopefully turn the right card and you're able to win it through.
All right, very good. Appreciate those thoughts, ALP. Now you're going to put on a show. All right, enough of the pregame, enough of the pre-talk. It's time to get down to business. It's the last game of the night, the nightcap, primetime Uno, with the boss and Mr. Sharpie. Let's get it on. Lara, you've been known for this, and of course, I always ask for those most famous words. New season, welcome to February. How many for game one? For potentially that 24-hour of Uno mark. What do we got?
Start off with 10.
Like it. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. That equals 10. Let's get this on. ALP, KT. We're starting up with the J. Caesar +2. And LaPlante, we always talk about those action starts, man. Man, those could be 2 hit or miss swords. Sometimes you can hit and say, you know what? Hit on that. Let me double down the +2. Or sometimes you say straight, play straight. What's the approach here on a +2 start as Lara does the classic sort through it right here?
I would take it easy and stick with the color at least, and if push comes to shove, slowly trying to get into those action cards, especially those skips and reverses.
I started off with the Jen and Green 0. Saw Jen unfortunately take an L tonight as the scoreboard is looking nice from Talna. Here comes James Ellison. Everything's loaded up. What does he got? Ready to play. We talked about this with Ellison, the pre-line story, but pre-game story, as he'll go into a zero sugar switch to drip. What will he do after a tough preseason? Well, so far he's going to answer the bell right here and do a quick switch. Here comes Lara right now. Of course, Lara is somebody that is not afraid to roll with these switches, not afraid to roll with the flow, roll with the punches, and again, we'll do that right here on that Y3. ALP, you pretty much called it early, man. Just roll with the punches, don't play too crazy, and they're both doing that right now.
Exactly that. Should be expecting expecting maybe another color change at some point. The old Skittles gag, and it'll be crazy as we get a reverse 9.
Yep, into the Yoshi, into the Acosta. We'll see Yoshi or Acosta tomorrow. Yoshi round 2 after a big win over Pikachu. Here comes Laraujo now, looking to potentially answer. He will with the switch. ALP talked about Pandora's opening. There's another color, but we're going back to 2 color ISO and green with the green 9 of Brian. Does Ellison fade it? Let's find out. Can he fade this green 9 into Brian? I think that's going to be the key. We talk about Ellison. Can he have another layer, another dimension to really throw Ellison or to throw Lara off his game? Let's see. He's loading up a minute here, ALP. This could be a big run. There's a double play. There we go. Go ahead, Jay.
Feel like it's the time for a little action.
Well, action says ALP now. James takes that action initiative up 4 possessions. Looking to be 3 here from Lara. If he can cut it down, should be able to with 2 freshies. And you see ALP, I think this is the beauty of this game, right? The yin and yang effect. Sometimes you go and push the gas, and sometimes you got to hit the brakes. Well, in this case, Ellison's hitting the gas. Let's see if Lara will just play it cool or hit the gas with him. And he'll play it cool. Doubles up to the Cap 4 who won in a monster fashion 12 hours ago against Luke. Now Lara
First draw of the game.
Yep. Lara looking to run. ALP mentioned it first draw, and there's the switch. Just like that, though, Lara has inched back closer, and Ellison can only run it clean. Here comes Lara again on this yellow. Seem to be confident. And he'll go for the KT.
Go to blue.
Yep, the KT Classic there, the Blue Wild. The Sharks out water. What's he going to do now? Ellison, nothing really happening, just a clean play. Is this the target for Lara for the win? He'll play it cool. No monster run yet. James with the draw. Here comes Lara with the double. We've talked about the ALP. Double number, always going to work out in his favor. Yep, self-ditto, working out. Let's see if Lara can finish it off right here. He's got down to the red zone. Is this game right here potentially to get this to 1-0? Still be a little bit away from that 24-hour, but Lara looking for it right here. Is it a 4-bagger to close? What was that return to? We're about to find out. What? He had it. I don't know if it'll affect anything.
Why does every time I come in, stuff like this happens?
Well, James knows what to fear, but there's really no cards to fear on that one, so there's no +4s or anything, so it's probably game. So that's game. Lara's going to get away with it, ALP. And basically a plan A win. We'll ask what the return was because that was plan A to the core. So in an unconventional way, it'll be Lara 1-0, and there it is. Scoreboard operator and I jumped the gun on that one. As we'll go to game
Yep,
2 in a
save it
second.
to the end. Save those to the end.
Yeah, that was a weird finish. I mean, I'll start it off with Lara low ammo. The only thing Ellison threw was that measly +2. What was that +2 return? And talk to me how the light switching, playing a little bit more aggressive on the switches, gave you the win.
The +2 just gave me 2 more skips, so it didn't really affect me. I mean, really, the main thing that threw me off was at the start. I was gonna use all my greens and then switch to yellow and then switch to blue because I had a nice chain there with the numbers. But he switched to yellow and then I just played off of that. And it wasn't really an issue because I had 2 wilds that I could switch to different colors if I needed to.
Yeah, and I was going to ask James.
And it'll work
Go ahead,
out.
go ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead, my bad.
No, yeah, I was done. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. No, it did work out. James, I was going to ask you, buddy, just had the +2. Was it a case of just too many isolations on Lara's end and you ultimately couldn't get anything started? Just was stuck in reverse there?
Well, to be perfectly honest, toward the end there, I had a green reverse and a green skip, but I had nothing to follow it up with, so that's where I went for the draw. I was doomed either way, really.
Yeah, no, that's a fair assessment. And that's the thing, ALP. When you're doomed either way, low ammo, you gotta know how to work the numbers, and Lara did a good job there to get the win. Well, that's pretty much going to conclude game 1. Lara with the big win. Of course, still needs some more minutes before we can get to that ceremony, so we will go to game 2. Lara, free board other than the 10, buddy. What are we thinking? Up 1-0.
Let's go down 1-9.
We're going to go to 9. Cody Smart put that. Now, ALP, your thoughts on this game, too, here, because Ellison trying to stop the momentum as we have. There's Cody Smart's card. Thoughts on just how Ellison's going to get back in this game and Lara's keeping the momentum here on this 9-card start. There you go, buddy.
Unlike him, I'll just hope you have the cards to save up the ones to save up the action cards properly and just take it slowly until you really need to step on the gas and just go bam 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 and hopefully it gets you to the win.
We'll see right now. Of course, you got to know ammo control. And Ellison, he's talked about this in the past. The ammo control is always going to be the key to winning games. You don't want to play a +4 and then you got nothing. As he said in that last game, don't want to play a reverse skip or just draw for the heck of it. So he's gonna put a little bit more calculated as game 2 rolls in, as they roll into these blues here, nice and clean. Here comes James now, looking for a potential switch, but he's going to play cool, as we said. Is Lara going to do the first switch? It seems who has that first switch, ALP, can control the board. And there it is, round time into the stamp for 6. As, oh, there's a typo. That'll be into the Allen 9.
Nice.
Now Lara looking to fire back here on the old red cards. Let's see if he's got anything clean. So far, has been aggressive with the switching according to the statistics book. Is that going to hold true, though, at the scoreboard?
Hopefully.
It's looking good now here
Let's
for
go down.
Lara. Ellison drawing, so this is what Lara needs at ALP. The red 4. You don't want to switch the color. If you're James or you switch the color, that could potentially open the door up for Lara. So I wonder if he's thinking that through and just going to play it cool. And he will play it cool. What does Lara have?
Probably. If you need to stay on one color, stay on it.
Yep, now I think if you're both players, a draw city wouldn't hurt. Let's see if Ellison will oblige, or does he go for the switch? He will go for the switch, though. It's going to free him up. Now both are free, ALP. Lara with the possession. So James says, you know what? Let's go with that aggression pack. Both play cool. Into the G7 of the Apez who won earlier. Lara once again in that red zone, just like James, but with the PA, the possession arrow. See what Lara's got cooking. He's got to be careful too. Maybe ALP making sure he's got the right proper runs too. And we saw that last game, a little bit of a glitch on the run and a little rusty there, but good job on staying clean. Into the yellow, so that's really important. ALP with the light switching. Going to that new color in the Pandoras. Let's see. And James is out again. Here comes Lara looking for deuce. Or is it a check to win? Does he sign off on the check and cash it in right here for this 2-0? Into the Pikachu. What's the last three? That's game. That's going to do it. Yep. +4 into a Gerard
Saves it
+2.
again.
Yeah, great save. Lara up to ultimate plan A win again, buddy. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. The raw number. Look at that ALP. That 7 is exactly what Lara needed with the plot armor to get it done. Lara, was that just simple plan A? Got a lucky number and ran it because there was really no drawing. It was just a clean play your 9 cards and go home. Other than that one draw.
Yeah, my cards didn't really have any connection, so there was no plan A, to be honest. Just happened to switch colors for me at the right times. Other than like the one time I had to draw, but wasn't too bad. So yeah, overall,
much. Oh, wow. Wow. So James, ironically, just didn't have the... He just didn't have the connector, ALP. Sorry about that, Lara. I saw the pin. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, I was done.
Okay, good. James, you had it. You had the connector early, but ultimately that 7 of yellow cost you because he missed out. Was it just a case you needed to get the blue to isolate the game, or do you think that +4 backhand was just too powerful and he had the winner?
Well, first of all, if I'd had the yellow 7 prior, I could have at least stalled a little, but I guess in the end it didn't matter.
Yeah, I really don't. Hard to really say ALP in my opinion, but in my humble opinion, right there, I think it was a case of just Lara didn't have any connectors, but that number placement just fell into the place. Thoughts on this series so far on Lara taking control as Ellison tries to get it back here into a series in Game 3, as he's still a couple minutes short from that 24-hour mark, ironically.
Well, it pretty much defines what happens to me. What happened to me when I was playing, not getting the correct cards, or getting luck with the cards, and just not able to get the ball rolling. And with him having the hot streak of 2 in a row, I fear that maybe he may be going at a 4 sweep and 4 sweep in a sec.
We'll see. Ellison is a guy, as Brad joins us, is the kind of player, though, to change up the old card start when things aren't going right. We're about to find out if he'll change the game right here. James, free board, Game 3. What are we calling?
Let's go up to 11.
Wow, we're keeping it into that mid-tier range. It's not a bad strat, and it's telling we get the board ready for Game 3 as we started off the Taco 6 in the building. I think the key is going to be how do you stay composed on the light switches? That's going to be the one key. And I think the other thing, too, that I've noticed, we haven't seen much ammo in defense. It's just been straight runs. A lot of low ammo here, nothing crazy. But Lara's been controlling the light switch colors. Now James is going to try to control it back as he'll go into that duo card of Joao and Gio, the Italian-Portuguese combo. Plan, you talked about it too, man, earlier in this game. Run it, play a little cleaner, don't force anything. But when you don't have the ammo, sometimes you got to make desperate plays on numbers. Do you think that's something that goes in the mind of both players when it's just not working out on ammo, as Ellison now will play and what Lara's going to do his classic take your time, patience move here?
Absolutely.
There you go.
At this point, as we get starting into Skittles mode, and that not that, and unfortunately, you get to see those cards in a row.
Yeah, it's interesting. The old Devil's Wild right there in the Sanford 6, and now we'll go to the DJ5 running on the Reds. Question's going to be here for James. Does he think about Does he think about doubling the switching? Does he play it cool? Because he's the one to initiate. Let's see what he's got in store. Here comes James, looking to find a way. Looking to load up. What does he have in store? He hasn't shown much, but he has shown some switches. He's just going to
Head
play
to the
nice and
seven.
cool. Yeah. Go to Eli, plays it cool.
Yeah, I was expecting to stay in the reds for the time being.
Could read their ALP as we go down to the 7 deuce combo and a red himself. Comes James now, looking to potentially initiate a switch or play it cool. Let's see. It's really the two moves he's been doing. You don't want, like I said, we've seen 2 games in a row where where Lara ALP has just not been able to use any ammo and just play it to the end, right? Use it in a plan A manner. We haven't seen a plan B or C in this game. That makes things a little bit different on reading. Is now I believe Lara is good to go on 24 hour. We'll get the ceremony after this game. See what James has got cooked up right here. Really taking his time here. He's getting for a triple here, ALP. Let's see if this.
Oh yeah, just like that clip from the old good YouTube days. Oh baby, a triple. And that's probably maybe close to wrapping it up. Maybe.
We'll see. James looking to finish it off here with that triple. Let's see if he's got it. It'd be a really insane 8-peg chain though, because he's at 5. No, does not finish off. That will get him to 3. And it gives Lara some actual life here to potentially fire back, or he could potentially roll into. I think he will fire it back though. You know, Lara will ease into this, make a decision here. Oh boy, James is thinking he's in danger here, pulling a little Ralph Wiggins. Well, and we talked about this ALP, when to make that defensive measure with the ammo. I don't know if that was defense or offense because we've seen those split ammo plays. So that's what Larry's trying to draw up in his head. Was that a split play? We're going to find out right now. James is going to wait
Going a little sarcastic Ralph Wiggum mode right now. And just only a few cards left compared to Lotto's almost over a dozen.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen now, Lara, because he's about to put some hurting on, I think, Ellison, according to James. Let's see if that's true. And that read is absolutely on the money. Let's find out. Taking his time. He has a lot of options because he went through 3 progressions of colors, red into the blue into the green. So there's a lot of options for Lara, what he could do. We have seen comebacks before. This is nothing new. 11 card differential ain't nothing new. And there it is, ALP.
Holy cow! Whoa! An answer.
Quintuple, when he starts it with his own card in the variable, in the G, with a +2 sandwich and clay, and finishes it off with the Cody Edziembo combo. And now Lara, back in the lead by a possession, with the possession arrow if need be. And James said it was a risk I had to take, so that's an interesting comment as well. Maybe that's all the ammo he had. Maybe that's all he was bluffing. Who knows? But regardless, it'll be Lara with the chance to defend the lead with that blue quintuple play. Play cool, Nick, and now.
Yep, starting to slow down.
Slow that roll. Smoothly. Let's see if James Ellison can maybe switch the color. He'll play it cool, but I think that's a good call to maybe play it cool. There we go. I was going to say for a second. Okay. Lara with the double 9s. Okay, so into the double nicks. What's it going to be here for James? He's playing it cool on this blue. Yeah, I was just going to think, where's the switch coming from? And there it is. What does Lara have? Oh, Lara undercuts it to the Costa.
There we go.
Yep. Light switch city. What does James got in return? Double play into the 0. Okay. In the drip. That's a big play, ALP. That's going to give James Ellison now a little leverage and gets him the possession arrow back too, unless Lara can fire in with the double, and he can't. So it's tied, James, with the PA if he's got anything. He gets that G8 switch. That's exactly what he needed earlier. Lara come prepared to the fight, though. He did. He did come prepared.
Probably right
James,
out of ammo and just going what they have left until you have to draw again.
double G2. Is this James for check? Does he have check right here? He does. Lara had a response. He's pulled the rug before. Is this a +4 to pull the rug, though? This would be interesting here. Yep, +4 to pull the rug. That's a winner.
Yeah.
Is that rinse and repeat? ALP, for real. Is that rinse? I mean, Lara, I got to ask you, buddy, what was that return before I begin when Ellison pulled that crazy 5-bagger? What was that return? And did you get that +4?
What was the question?
When he pulled that, I'm trying to look back, pulled that return, he pulled that crazy 5-bagger, I believe, and he gave you cards when he said, the double +2. I'm going to try to find it. What did you get in that return first to start off?
Let's see. I got one of the green 2s. I got the yellow 8. I got the wild 4. I got the yellow skip, I think.
Skip, okay.
Yeah, I got the yellow skip and the blue reverse.
Pretty good return then.
Yeah.
Okay. So then
I mean, I had a good
Go
hand before that, but it
got better.
Yeah.
Got better. Yeah, I was going to ask you, after that play, then it was just about running the numbers down. Do you think that retaliation was a sense of, he might have had a potential green finish to the end, you just wanted to get him off his game? Because ultimately, you did a good job to where he just couldn't really, he really couldn't do anything on green, pretty much. He was just iced out to the end. You finished the job. Talk me through that.
Well, when I played the retaliation +2s, it wasn't because I had no green. I had 2 green 2s. And I could change that into the red 2 I had. It was really just because at that point the card counts were 14-3, and I didn't know what if you had like a run to the finish and you just needed like a break in the middle. So I just played that as like a safety net.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying with the safety net. We'll get back to you in a second with the celebration. James, you said I want to know what an uncover. What do you mean by you had to take the risk? Was that all the ammo? Just let the floodgates open at that point?
I had to do something to try to stop him, but in the end, it just gave him what he needed. Really, in the end, all I needed was him to somehow have a green, or I think it was 7, and I could have been done. I could have won that.
You needed
'Cause
the. You go ahead.
I had a blue 7 waiting.
Okay, so your last
Oh.
wasn't even green. I got you. I got
Not
you.
that it mattered with the +4.
No, yeah, it was the inevitable. I mean, ALP, before we get to the ceremony, this has just been the same rinse and repeat from Laraujo. 3 straight wins in relatively the same style fashion. That's all I really got to say. What's your thoughts on these 3? He's just been really saving ammo well and playing this calculated game.
That's pretty much that, and I'm thinking he's got to do the exact same thing to do the complete sweep and win it all right here tonight.
We'll go over to Laraujo now. I don't have a Now, with 24-hour club, we don't really do, let's say, a league accomplishment post because it was just new, but we will think of something. Cody Smart and the media team are going to think of something. He's going to do some type of 24-hour recap post. So I'll have him dig out the stats, but I will read off your stats right here, my friend. Welcome to the 24-hour club. You'll be over 24 hours, and your career stats goes as follows. Your record overall is, let's see, I got to find it on the sheet here because I don't have this thing typed out. It just shows you. We have it typed. It's 11-11. Of course, you are now have 64 wins, so you have an even 64-64 in the regular season. 21-18 Super League. You, of course, have had that one magical run, as I like to say. That old magical run back in T2 last year. You almost got to the promised land of a Final Four. Just missed out a little bit. But regardless, it's been a good career. You've had a lot of Sweet 16 appearances. You had some Elite Eights in there. And, of course, you had a Super League berth. What do you appreciate most about this league, my friend, and just the atmosphere? You always talked about the professionalism. What are some things you appreciate? We've done interviews with you, and your just thoughts overall, as you're now a seasoned pro in this league, man. 4 years now. It's crazy. Time flies.
Um. Okay. So just like what I like about the league in general.
Yeah. What do you like about the league in general? Thoughts on having 24 hours around the sun of Uno, one day around the sun, playing this game in 3 years? You're in the 24-hour club now. Welcome.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fun. I like the what do you call them? Like the changes to how the game works, to make it a little more
Rules and regs. Yep. Gotcha.
like the stuff like power plays and the different like card like you can change the number of cards you play with each game, um and like the stuff like the multiple like the scheduled tournament structure, stuff like that. um just something you really don't find anywhere else, I think. And it has a lot like it's like little things like that, they add up.
I get you, man. It's the fact that we've basically added those elements. Yeah, appreciate that, Brad. I'm just about to post. There you go, buddy. Thanks for the thunder steel, Brad. No, all joking aside, you're right. Welcome to the 24-hour club, and it's only a 10 person club. That will definitely start to ramp up as we continue to go through the years, and of course through this season. We'll probably have a couple people more close to that as we go. Brad might be the only. Well, I don't know. Brad might be. He might be if he gets long enough in the year. Might have a 48-hour to his name. We'll see. Two days around the sun. We'll find out. Cheers to that. Appreciate that, the plant. All right. Well, here we go. Ellison 3-0. Lara. Was it down 3-0? Excuse me. Lara one game away from winning it all. Has the power play. Keep that in mind as well. Both do. James, what are we thinking? It's again free board. What do we got?
Well, let's try 8.
All right, crazy eights. Cody Smart puts it in. Refs ready to go. Scoreboard's ready. And we'll start off with the guy that took care of business against Pikachu in a 4-2 at Rhymes and Dimes with Yoshi. And we talk about this all the time, ALP. That first switch is going to be the key. The difference here is it'd be an aggressive with the reverses. Let's see what that power play comes into play because right now, Lara is got all the momentum here. Nothing here on the draw. Early draw though. It could be big for James.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I'm kind of disappointed so far. I'm gonna jinx myself that there hasn't been a full send yet.
We could.
Uh,
We'll see. No, to be fair too, we just haven't had really the momentum for the full send, and now it's two color. Nothing from James. That's interesting. Later looking at tie right here, maybe take the lead with a double. No cards on for blue from James. Does Lara? Yep, play into the Brad Deuce. James now. Let's see what he's got, or he's got to draw here. He's just going to draw. Here comes Lara once again. Running on this blue. Power play wide open. He'll go to the Nick 9. Let's see. Now takes the lead on the scoreboard. 2 possession, looking for maybe 3 if James can't play. But he will, and there's the green. Great call from James to switch it up a little bit. Try not to stay stagnant. Here comes Laraujo. What has he got? He's going to play it nice and clean. It's that already a 1. James Ellison, what will he have on this green? Taking his time, loading up. He's talked about it too. Just try to force the issue, and there's a good force there into a triple. There's the force. The question is, this would be a hellacious finish. Does he have it from way downtown? Be a 7-bagger. I don't know. That'd be some. That only needed the win too if he has it. No, does not have the winner. So that's gonna. This reminds me of Game 3. LaPlante the +2, and Lara again has a decision to make. Just deja vu, rinse and repeat.
Absolutely. I see a big one, real big one coming soon. I can really feel it. The only way to close the gap.
You're thinking there's going to be a big splash here from Laraujo to potentially close the gap, maybe even reset this game again. Let's see. He did it earlier with that 5-bagger in 3. He's just going to go back to blue this time. Okay. That's where James was free or iced out a little. And it's going to work again. Lara, oh, that's great. That's a beautiful play.
Ditto.
Yeah, self-ditto right there. James just can't do much on that.
Working to his advantage. I'm still expecting a big splash or tsunami wave somehow.
Tsunami wave, little earthquake in the castle under Fairytale February in the snow? We'll see. Here comes Lara again. On this blue, Ice and Ellison. And he'll go to yellow this time, banking on those 2 numbers in the draw city not working out in Ellison's favor. And he's got that power play too. Keep that in mind. There's always lurking in the back pocket for both guys. James now looking for 2 right here. He's got nothing, so this is big for Laraujo right here, ALP. 2-color strap for sure. See what Lara's going to do. Plays it cool to the 1-up this time for Monkey to coach. What's it going to be here from James? What's he got? Does he have a switch in the back pocket? Did he get a good topper? He got a good topper, but not a finish. Yep. Not a finish, but he did get a good topper there. Thought he had the finish there, but no. Again, the same situation. Instead of 211, it's now 210 with more decisions coming for Laraujo. And he'll just play it cool. James looking for the first time tonight, or first time in a long time. He got the check. What will Lara do now?
There it is.
The thing is that he picked the right number.
Gotta have those pluses.
No, nothing really there. So is this James for the win? No, does not have it. It's going to be Lara with the chance to not attack. Nothing from James. And I think that draw city earlier maybe just did not get the right connector. Lara says, okay. Oh, well, that's a, yeah. It's the classic. Double numbers. Double numbers. Yep, the double numbers love to come into play. It's the beauty. It's a mini power play, I call it. Now Lara in prime position right here after that connector. Goes in the green. James, though, had picked up 2 more cards. What were those 2 cards? Just a 7. Here comes Lara. What has he got in this green right here? He went to green for a reason. Is he loading this up for a power play? Does he have a stopper? No, just the classic 1-up in there. Let's see. And James is nothing again there, ALP. Can't get anything going. Here comes Lara.
Just not having the luck of the pull.
Nope, here comes
Still
Lara
see something
looking.
big coming.
You think it's the tsunami to finish it. The tsunami wave crashes in here to shore on the castle, on the banks of wherever. The banks of the Canadian, of course, the Canadian lakes, we'll call it that. What does he got right here? Lara looking to finish it off right here. He's taking his time. Is this it? Or is there a power play waiting? He's been really just cruising through this entire series, just been getting those Plan A wins, then had a little bit of a Plan B, C win there, and game after James hit him with the massive five quintuple play, and now he'll go for the debts.
Oh, there it is. But almost.
Oh, almost, yeah. It's the Uno call in. Oh boy,
Oh no.
sneaks it in. Not over yet, but yeah, he sneaked in there. What will James have in return? You get a +2. He'll go to the blue. Is that game for Laraujo for the win?
Was that his Achilles heel?
Is that the Achilles?
I don't.
Is
Could
that
be
for
pulling our legs. Could be pulling our legs and say
Lara for
game
the
over.
sweep?
There
He's
it
got
is.
it.
I knew it. I
And he-
knew it.
And I believe he joins Cody Lamas today as the only two guys to win without using a power play in their entire series. I believe they're the only two. So Lara joins Lamas. He gets the sweep, and we closed the day with a sweep, and we started the day with a sweep. Interesting. Lara, that one, I think that was just more of a Hail Mary if I had a guess on that last game. You kind of threw the kitchen sink, and then it just fell into place. That's really all I got to say on that. Thoughts? Is that a good way to describe it, or did just the fact that Ellison's monster +2 give you a little bit of an enabler to win the game? Interesting.
Well, it's kind of both, honestly. Starting out, I just had all numbers on 3 different colors, and I had like no connectors. So the first +2, or what was it, +10 or whatever it was that he gave me, that actually helped me out because it gave me a bunch of connections between the colors, and I was going for that around the middle of the game. And then I get hit with the +4. And that actually messed up that plan a little bit. But turned out it was out of red, and so I just kept playing reds because that +4 gave me mainly reds, actually. And then just played from there. Turns out he was also out of green, which I happen to have a good amount of. And then I used the greens to switch over to yellow. And then after that, I actually had no way to possibly get over to blue. And he just happened to play blue out. So it just kind of worked out, but it was by no means a plan A.
No, look what he had though remaining. I see why he did that. Yeah. No, I get the only thing in hindsight, ironically, is see the funny thing is, James, right? You play. Let's say you go to red, he's probably going to go to blue, and then it comes down to just what would have been that draw. So I get why you made the play. Just talk to me through that series. I think the last 2 games you had the ammo, just didn't get the connectors. The first 2, Larry just kind of had your number. Thoughts on this series overall before we get back to Larry? I have another question for him. Go ahead.
I just haven't had luck with this. Is what it is. It's just I get some cards, I go for a play, and then he had better ammo. That's just all there is to it.
Yeah, one of those things where it's better. ALP, your thoughts on this series too, man? It was a weird sweep because Lara's not a guy to play 20. Sometimes he plays 45 minutes to an hour game. It's a little bit of a different type of feel with a Lara who usually is more of that slow, calculated, slow roll style. But tonight he was able to push Plan A and then find a little bit of Plan B, C in the back end to win it. Thoughts on that?
Well, may I interject?
Go ahead.
Main
Yeah,
difference
go ahead,
here is there were no like big card starts. There were no full sends, and also there were no draw cities.
Yeah, that's. I think you make a dang good point. You're right, 100%. Because you mentioned that ALP. The fact that we had no full sends, we didn't have a draw city. Lara only drew 2 self-drawn cards, and the fact that we didn't even we just play over 100 cards combined. That's a low number in a game of 100 cards combined. Yeah, that's not a lot. So there's not a lot of bridge. I guess you get leeway bridges. I guess or bridges to connect, and there was just too much leeway across the bridge. And that was the game. Your thoughts on the overall series at ALP before I go back to Lara on another question here.
Yeah, I felt like it was. I felt had a strong feeling it was going to be a sweep between either one, and it turned out to be Laurel. And I felt like it's all by the bots. Anything can happen, even in real life. You can have very quick games or very very long games with not much luck. And this was just one of those times where it was a very quick match and not many cards drawn or picked up, and it just pretty much was smooth sailing for him all the way.
Larry, I don't know who your opponent's going to be. We don't know officially what's happening with, of course, Hockey versus Clay. Your thoughts on playing either one of them? Obviously, Hockey, if you play him, if we get him, it'd be a Canadian on Canadian duel. That'd be some good old Northern shootout. But your thoughts if you get Clay, who I think you had seen in the past before. I'll have to check that with the head-to-head filter. But your thoughts on either one? Just to break in the rust tonight too. Join the 24-hour club, the whole series overall, as you get a win here tonight.
I think I have played Clay before. But that doesn't really mean I have like insight into how it's gonna go down. So just gonna see what happens.
Got you, buddy. Appreciate that. I mean, again, we'll see as we'll probably get a better understanding of that story come Sunday night, Monday. We'll see how we're at. But I'm gonna go to the pod real quick, and then we're gonna call her a night for now, and then we'll talk about the post game in a second, which sure we'll be hosting tomorrow, 11 a.m. It's gonna be Nick versus Jay Money. Looking forward to that. That'll be the pod winner. We'll get Yoshi, of course. If Nick wins, he'll get the home seed 2-7. If Jay Money pulls the upset, which, by the way, you made a really good point earlier today. That was when we were 3-0 on home teams. Now we are 5-0 on home teams. So everybody at home is won today. Something to keep in mind as we await that first match tomorrow with Nick and Jay Money. And then, of course, we got Clay and Hockey. We'll still see on that one. But that's going to conclude it for us. ALP, I'll give you the last word since it was your first ever stream, man. Thoughts on tonight and what'd you like about it and the game overall? Go ahead, buddy.
Appreciate it, even though it did not really go what I wanted to. It was still a pleasure commentating with you, and I expect hopefully much more. Hopefully much not much more better, but probably better gameplay. Hopefully very long, maybe close to like an hour and a half or something. And hopefully a lot more surprises and craziness. So coming up for this whole month of February.
Appreciate Mr. Sharpie, man, for taking care of initiatives here on his debut in the booth. Appreciate Talon Scoreboard. Want to thank, of course, Cody Smart and also the Flame Alex. Appreciate him subbing as the ref. Brad, James Ellison, Lara, appreciate those guys for playing tonight. Cody Smart, as I said. Yepez, it's been a long day. Apologies for getting a little Z'd out here, but it is 10. That's it. After Dark is over. We will see you coming up in about a half hour or so when Short takes over for the post-game show. And then tomorrow, we'll be back here at 10:30, about 12 hours from now, all the way back with Nick and Jay Money with a little post-game or a little pre-game into the 11 o'clock stream as we conclude day one of Emery Uno Fairytale February 2026. We'll see the Fairytale and the Storybook continue on day two, Saturday, in a Super Saturday filled with a lot of games, a 7-pack on the way. Until then, have a good night, and we'll see you guys if you're watching in the post-game in 30 minutes. If not, have a good one wherever you are in the world. Appreciate everybody. Thank you. This has been a presentation of MRE Uno Division 1.